Gabriel Medina's Teahupo'o competition bid denied, a deep dive. When one of surfing's biggest stars wants to return to the sport's most iconic stage, you'd expect the doors to swing wide open. But not this time. Gabriel Medina, the three-time world champion, was left scrambling after the World Surf League, WSL, denied his request for a wildcard entry at Teahupo'o, a decision that's sparking fierce debate among fans and analysts alike. And here's the twist. Medina's not just any surfer. He's a two-time Teahupo'o winner with a jaw-dropping resume that includes an Olympic bronze in the very same waves. So why was he snubbed? Let's dive into the details. In May 2025, Medina formally requested a wild card to compete at Tahiti's Championship Tour stop, a pivotal event in the surfing calendar. But the WSL had already locked in its two special invites, one for Tahitian hero Cully Vost, the Olympic gold medalist, and another for the winner of a local trial. Reno Hickel, WSL's deputy commissioner, explained the cold calculus. The wild cards are gone. Cully's got one, and the trial winner has the other. The only way Gabriel could get in is if someone gets hurt. But here's where it gets controversial. Medina's camp made it clear they wouldn't take a last-minute replacement slot. Imagine the pressure, waiting 18 months between competitive appearances, only to have the path to redemption blocked by an injury lottery. If this stance holds, Medina's next CT event won't be until April 2026 at Bells Beach, marking an 18-month hiatus for Le Tour. That's a staggering gap for a surfer who thrives on momentum. Teahupo'o isn't just any wave. It's a beast. The reef breaks there demand a mix of grit and genius, and no one embodies that duality more than Medina. He's won the event twice, 2014, 2018, finished runner-up 4 times, and even earned Olympic bronze in 2024. Yet the WSL's decision prioritized local representation and trial winners over a global icon's comeback. Is that fair? Or is it a necessary step to keep the sport's roots alive? Medina himself remains undeterred. My goal is to win a 4th world title, he said, hinting at his hunger to reclaim the throne. He's also vocal about the new WSL calendar, which kicks off in April 2026 and ends in Hawaii, echoing the old schedule he prefers. The overall point system worked well. I have time to prepare, and that's motivating. But let's not ignore the elephant in the lineup, the WSL's wildcard policy. Should past champions like Medina get automatic entry to their signature events? Or does the system unfairly favor local heroes and trial winners? We'd love to hear your take. Drop a comment. Do you think the WSL made the right call? Or should Medina have been given a slot he fought for? For now, Medina's focus is on 2026. With his signature blend of flair and precision, he's ready to storm back. But until then, the waves of Teahupo'o will wait. And so will your questions. Gabriel Medina declines Teahupo'o wildcard. What's next for the surfing star? When Gabriel Medina, one of the most celebrated surfers in history, says no to a wildcard opportunity at Teahupo'o, you know something deeper is brewing beneath the surface. But here's where it gets intriguing. This decision didn't just raise eyebrows, it sent shockwaves through the competitive surfing world. Let's unpack what happened and why it matters so much. It all started earlier this year, when Medina suffered an unfortunate injury during training, a torn pectoralis muscle that sidelined him for months. He took to Instagram shortly after, sharing with his fans that he'd need time to recover but wasn't ready to throw in the towel on the season entirely. Instead, he opted for a cautious approach, evaluating each event individually before committing. Yet as weeks turned into months, Medina remained absent from competition, while other surfers like Jordy Smith dominated headlines by racking up wins. Fans began to wonder if we'd see him back in action at all this year. Then came last week. A glimmer of hope emerged when Medina reportedly reached out to the World Surf League WSL, requesting consideration for the final championship tour, CT event of the season in Tahiti. With 2 Teahupo'o titles under his belt, 4 runner-up finishes, an Olympic bronze medal, and his face immortalized in one of the most iconic surf photos ever taken, many assumed Medina would be granted entry without hesitation. After all, few athletes have contributed more to elevating the sport than him. However, things aren't always straightforward in professional sports. The WSL delivered disappointing news. Both available wildcard spots had already been allocated. One to Cully Vost, and the other reserved for the winner of the local trials. They did mention there was still the possibility of an injury replacement slot opening up, But this came with strings attached. Medina's team quickly dismissed the idea, unwilling to wait around for another athlete's misfortune to create space for their star competitor. Fast forward to yesterday, when Brazilian surfer Alejo Muniz withdrew due to ongoing issues stemming from a previous injury sustained at Jeffreys Bay. Seizing the moment, the WSL extended an invitation to Medina once again, hoping he might reconsider given the new circumstances. Unfortunately, Medina declined yet again, citing scheduling conflicts that made participation impossible. This opened the door for Teahupo'o, a seasoned 35-year-old surfer who finished second in the trials to claim the coveted wildcard spot. On the women's side, excitement continues to build as Vahine Fierro joins the lineup alongside 12-year-old prodigy Kelia Galina, whose victory in the trials has set her on track to become the youngest CT competitor ever. A story worth keeping an eye on. So what does this mean for Medina moving forward? Will he return stronger next season? Or could they signal a shift in priorities for the legendary surfer? And this is the part most people miss. Should wildcard policies be revisited to accommodate legends like Medina, even when unforeseen circumstances arise? We'd love to hear your thoughts. Do you think Medina made the right call? Should wildcard rules evolve to better support top-tier athletes recovering from injuries? Share your opinions below. Let's spark a conversation. Gabriel Medina's second chance. Injury wildcard to Teahupo'o. Breaking! Surfing's drama unfolds as stars face injury comebacks, teen phenoms, and beach wars. Here's what you're missing. Gabriel Medina's Teahupo'o lifeline. A second chance sparks debate. Just days after Brazilian surf fans mourned Gabriel Medina's failed wildcard bid for the Teahupo'o, fate intervened. Alejo Muniz's withdrawal due to a shoulder injury has opened a controversial door. Medina now holds an injury wildcard slot, if he accepts it. But here's where it gets messy. Medina previously rejected this option, calling it too last minute. With the event just 2 weeks away, the surfing world is split. Should he seize this unexpected opportunity to ride alongside compatriots Italo Ferreira and Iago Dora? Or honor his initial refusal, letting the spot go to another surfer like John Florence or Kelly Slater? The decision could delay his return to competition until 2026, a high-stakes gamble for the former champ. What would you do in his position? From pro surfer to robot CEO, how one man escaped the dream. Imagine trading perfect barrels for delivery robots. Zach Rash's story defines every surfing cliche. As a teen, Rash chased the pro surfing fantasy until UCLA redirected his path. Partnering with Brad Squicciarini, he swapped wave charts for blueprints, co-founding Coco Robotics. Their startup, once building sketchy robots in a windowless room, now boasts $80 million in funding from OpenAI's Sam Altman. Coco's bots have delivered 500,000 plus items for giants like Uber Eats, with plans to deploy 10,000 robots by 2026. But here's the kicker. Rash admits he still misses the ocean. Could his tech someday automate surf judging? We're asking, what passion would you abandon for a life-changing opportunity? Pressure cooker. 12-year-old prodigy threatens two-time world champ at Teahupo'o. What happens when a preteen surfer with 8 years of Teahupo'o experience challenges a decorated champion? Meet Kelia Galina at Miss Teahupo'o, the 12-year-old trial winner now set to face world number 1 Molly Bigwam. Her victory and a recent viral performance by 7-year-old Uriah Anchor has turned up the heat on Felipe Toledo, whose decade-long struggle at the break risks being overshadowed by kids. Toledo's Olympian near-miss last year, where bigger wave crushed his hopes, looms large. Can he silence critics, or will this become a changing of the guard moment? Spoiler, the Groms aren't scared. Are you ready for surfing's youth revolution? Backstreet Boy versus Surfers, the beach access battle going viral. I worked 30 years for this. Backstreet Boys' Brian Littrell is suing Florida sheriff for failing to stop surfers trespassing on his private beach. His plea? Keep it moving. This isn't public land. But here's the controversy. Can a beach ever truly be private? Littrell claims intruders used his surfboards and SUVs while deputies ignored 911 calls. Critics argue coastal access is a public right. Where do you stand? Property rights versus surfers' freedom. Shark attack survivors' defiant promise. I'll surf again. It yanked me like a dog with a toy. 18-year-old Sam Hollis became New Smyrna Beach's latest shark bite victim, but his reaction defined surf culture. After losing a 15-foot tug of war with a shark, the surf instructor vowed to return to the waves post-recovery. Here's the wild card. No true surfer ever quits after an attack. Compare that to yoga studios or gyms. Would you rush back if predators lurked there? Discuss, is this bravery or madness? Your turn. Sound off below. Should Medina take the wild card? Is Latrell's lawsuit justified? And would you surf after a shark attack? Let's debate. Passions are riding high.